Yeah, he'll should be good by, I think we tried on Thursday. Oh,
Okay. When's the first game?
we have a pre-season scrimmage on Saturday here.
Here?
First game at 10, last game at 5, Friday games all day long. So
Okay.
So good to go, it's gonna be good.
Be over to watch it. At
Yeah.
least one of them.
Yeah, we played it 10, 12, 1 and 5.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 4 games. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a round robin.
So we'll be,
Did last year, huh? The situation already, but you probably didn't come to it. I think it was probably like 30 degrees of rain.
so we'll be playing 10, 12, 1 and 5. We'll be playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
What are they gonna play? Got 6 innings.
4 innings or an hour time.
Okay.
We got like 5 different comments, so it's a round robin.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Going down the place. Well, she's on the TV.
She doesn't play?
What?
She doesn't play?
Well, she plays a little bit, not much. Playing basketball, she played a little bit. Well, no, she played as much as she played the last 1 or 2 minutes if they were ahead or behind. And she was happy here. She did it just, for friends. She's senior, she's 18. She did it just to hang out with friends. I know it. Yeah.
Please stand for pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, adjustments to the agenda. Okay. Public comment. The school board endorses the concept that community participation in the affairs of the school is essential to improve the quality of education for its students. To be eligible to address the board, an individual should reside within the school unit, be an employee of the school unit, or be invited by the board or superintendent to speak. The board shall give due attention to comments and contributions from the audience, but shall not be expected to respond or take action immediately. Audience requires inquiries other than simple questions shall be referred to the superintendent, who shall investigate or consider the matter and report to citizens and to the board. If board action is indicated, the item may be included in an agenda for subsequent meeting. Comments will be heard for no longer than 3 minutes per person. Any public comment?
I'd like to say something. My name's Catherine Shaw. My daughter is a current first grader. My worry, I saw the elimination of a second grade teacher for next year. My worry is, it may set my daughter up to fail. She doesn't do well in a big class. However, like I've seen her come a long ways and excel since she's been in a smaller class. So I just wanted to bring up my worry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Hi,
Yeah.
my name is Kelly Gardner. I have 3 students at Granite Street. A 3rd grader. I have a current 1st grader going into 2nd grade next year, and I have a kindergartner who will also be going through school. My concern is also for agenda item number 9 in terms of eliminating the 2nd grade position. I feel that I know that there's a lot that goes into these decisions and there's considerations in all aspects, but the well-being of our students and our teachers should be at the forefront. My concern is that in a larger classroom that they're not going to get all the attention that they need, whether they're neurocognitively intact or not. There's a lot of behavioral issues I've seen in all of my children's classrooms, and as those classroom sizes get bigger, those come into play. My 3rd grader had a significant issue with some behavioral stuff last year, and his well-being, physical and mental well-being, suffered from it. So I think that we need to look at the research. I'm a medical person, I look at evidence-based. And the research shows that smaller class sizes are better for our students. And it starts in the early years, so elementary school is really imperative for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Any other comment?
Am I allowed to comment on Zoom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Can you see me?
Leah. Oh, right there. Yes.
My name is Leah Malcolm. I am a certified teacher in the area. Most of you know me. My public comment is in regard to the cuts that I see coming on the agenda. I would like to know, not necessarily right now, but hopefully these answers would be coming once some explanations are given to our community members. Level, all level, perhaps that lapses or does not have enough student enrollment to per se have a second teacher. I know that many students benefit from having an alternative option if their classroom teacher is not a good fit for them and their programming, period. I also know that I am a local tutor here and I'm an autism specialist certified. And I have had 3 or 4 parents reach out just today from your second grade cohort concerned with this cut and what that will mean for their children. And if every year thereafter, they will have the lowest class number and therefore this will keep shifting and they will be the grade level impacted by that. On an aside, I am very curious to hear more about how we are going to be cutting a math position in hours. And if your test scores reflect that we can sustain that, I do not believe that is the case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leah.
Any other comments?
I'm gonna make a comment, I guess. I wasn't gonna, but, very simply said, I am concerned about the cutting of, a second grade teacher in particular. The reason being, I worry about, do we ever get it back once we cut it? And the other thing I would like to say is, even though numbers may reflect a smaller size, numbers do not always denote need. And not everybody in this room, in the school board included, knows what I mean by needs that are coming. And so numbers may look a certain way, may look low, and needs may look high. So I would just think that that would be something that could come under some consideration. So I would just like to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie.
Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none? You want to? No. All right, I need approval of the minutes.
What do we make a motion to approve the minutes of the school board meeting, March 10th, March 16th, and March 24th, bearing any errors or omissions?
Second,
All in favor? I vote. Payroll warrant.
Motion to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer to each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following school payroll warrants. March 26, 2026, PR 26-20, $145,679.46, PR 26-20D, $79,000, $79,694.97. Main PERS 26-30, $38,203.07, TCMIL February 2026, main PERS 26-31, $9,600.19, PLD February 2026. April 9th, 2026, PR 26-21 in the amount of $148,578.58. PR 26-21D in the amount of $81,709.76.
Second.
All in favor? 5-0. Payroll warrant? Payable warrant, sorry.
I move to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer to each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following school payable warrants. March 26, 2026, AP 26-28, $26,696.40. AP 26-29, $115,381.02. SA 26-26, $2,006.98. Stearns Junior Senior High School student accounts. April 9th, AP 26-30, $91,960.10. And SA 26-27, $731.34. Stearns Junior Senior High School student account.
I'll- Okay, go ahead, Jim.
All in favor? Hello? Policies? Motion?
I move to approve the adoption of following policies. New policies, IHAK, citizenship / values education, IHBEA, program for English language learners. Revised policies, ADC, tobacco-free schools use and possession of tobacco and electronic smoking devices. ID, the school day. IHBAC, child find. And IHBB, gifted and talented education.
I'll second it.
All in favor? 5-0.
I just would make a comment there to bring back around that a couple of these policies have actually gone before the policy committee 3 times. And they've been before you a couple of times as we circled back around to gather different additional information to wordsmith. We worked really hard on a couple of these policies to look at some specific words that were troublesome for us. So as far as the policy committee goes, good job and glad that these are reflective of the work that we want done here.
Number 9, to see if the board will approve elimination of a full-time second grade teacher.
So moved.
Have a second? No second?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Okay.
Number 10, to see if the board will vote to eliminate full-time high school math teacher position and create a part-time high school math teacher position for 2026-2027 calendar school year.
I'm gonna be stupid. I'll second it. I mean, I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
We have to have a discussion, right?
No discussion, I'm sorry.
So a little bit of information on that is, last time we met, I had told you that we would do some, it was time for signups. So, students were signing up and we were through the, I want to say freshmen and sophomores. So since that time, we do have the numbers. Okay, find them here. So that you can have a better understanding. Two pieces of papers, bear with me. So for the classes that we currently offer, considering we have currently 3 full-time people providing services like Algebra 1, geometry, pre-algebra, math review, digital design, business and finance, Algebra 2, pre-calculus, and calculus. So we have 3 full-time teachers teaching this rundown. And just for some numbers, currently in the classes that we have 9, 19, 11, 7, 2, 10, 3, 8, 8, 6, 8, 2, 11, and 0. So I'm recommending that we make this a part-time position in order to align with the fact that we have less need than we once had for a number of students signing up. It won't affect the number of classes that we're offering because we're going to be utilizing other people by changing a couple of schedules. Thoughts, questions?
No staff will be eliminated with that, right? No staff being eliminated. They're just being reassigned.
Yes, so the position would be eliminated and we have already offered, the individual a job. We're actually very fortunate that there's been a couple of people through matriculation. So in order for some of these things to happen, it hasn't displaced anybody. Yeah, yep, good question.
Set. All in favor? 5-0. So to see if the board will approve the 2026-2027 non-union clerical salaries.
Make a motion to approve the special education secretary Michelle Greavy's hourly salary of $25.03 for the 26-27 school year with all benefits according to the school board policy.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Motion to approve administrative assistant.
Make a motion to approve the administrative assistant in central office, Cameron Mishu's hourly salary of $28.79 for the 2026-2027 school year with all benefits according to school board policy.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Motion to approve special education.
Like, make a motion to approve special education clerk Cameron Mishu's stipend for 3 years, FY 27 to 10,300, FY 28, 10,400, and FY 29, 10,500.
Second,
Who seconded?
Julie.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Any other budget discussion?
Lonnie, I got a question about we didn't get a second on one. Did you want to second it so we could have discussion?
Well, it can come up then, or like if in the budget conversation that's going to happen next.
It is.
It is, so that will have an impact, so we'll have to.
On the budget.
We'll have to discuss it because we either will add money to the budget, which we'll have to have a motion for in a second. Or we can't, the budget work really, I mean, because there's 2 options.
That's the reason I'm asking is if we have an idea what this is, and then we'll know what we need to do. Versus, but I don't know if Donnie realized that he could second it for discussion.
I didn't realize
Okay,
that. I will second that, and then we
All
will
right.
have a
Can we go
discussion.
back?
okay.
I think it makes more sense, but.
We want to
Okay,
take that
so-
up, for record.
Okay, I second the motion and we'll have a discussion. Yeah, some information for us, not today.
So I guess, this conversation about the second grade has, gone on. We talked about it for a couple of months now. It was, a few months ago, we started with admin and looking at our system. And, as we have worked on the budget, so we started with admin, made some, reduction or change there, and then kind of have methodically gone through. The Millinocket has had a decade of enrollment declining.
like across Maine, like across the country, not unusual. And so in looking at everything we're talking about, the high school position, the assistant principal position, all of these things are in response to some of those changes. There isn't anybody who has taken this decision lightly. There are the law for Maine says that the ratio is 25-1 for kindergarten through grade 8. We're not near that. I agree that low class sizes are critical for all kinds of reasons. Engagement, communication, knowing kiddos. I agree with all of those things. But 18 is not a high number. 19 is not a high number. Millinocket has classrooms currently with those numbers or close to those numbers right now. 17s are pretty popular in our system right now. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and I agree that we want our kids to feel special, to be heard, to receive the information that they need. I think to be responsible to our kiddos and responsible to the teachers, we do consider the needs of the classroom, but I think there's all these other supports as well that are surrounding us and that are at Granite Street. We have a very robust Title I program. We, a couple of years ago, turned it into a Title I teacher managing Title I support people, and we actually have enough Title I ed techs that we could assign one per grade if we wanted to. There's lots of configurations that the state and the feds allow in the title program. We haven't chosen to do it that way. We've chosen to be more targeted, and that's fine. Our special ed staff do a wonderful job, and we know there's challenges. We know there's challenges everywhere, and that students need support, staff need support, and there's no thought about not giving support to the classroom teacher. So the supports will remain in place. We're really not hitting a high number. Student learning will not be compromised. And the last thing anybody in this room wants to do is compromise the public's opinion on what we do inside our house. Like I'm thankful you guys are all here. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy you're all here. I think it shows that you have a strong commitment for your kiddos and a strong commitment for your staff, your peers, the people sitting around you. This group sitting at this table has talked about this, and we're responsible to you. We're responsible to your kiddos, and to your town, your community at large. When we take this budget and we go forth with the town council, which is our next step. I think it really is critical that the optics of this are that the community believes in the people sitting in this room, because the people sitting at this table believe in the people sitting in this room. We would not even consider a recommendation like this if we didn't think that the people who were going to be leading the classrooms were able to lead them. I think in the fall, should you folks vote to do this? I think in the fall, we want all of our families to come to school with their new sneakers, cute dresses, happy faces, being confident that the room that their kid is going into is going to be a place where they're well cared for, they're safe, they're seen, they're heard, and they're instructed. They get what they need. And that all of the support people that come to work every day at Granite Street and Stearns are there to help the classroom teacher accomplish all of those things with the students. Let's see. I guess I would take questions if you have questions. I feel like, you know that this is been thought about. We've talked about it. I guess I'm not sure what else to say.
Nobody's gonna be the job.
Yeah,
Right,
okay,
that's what I was going
okay,
to
yeah,
ask,
okay, there's a,
that we have some clarification on.
Yeah,
that
sure, that-
no one's losing their jobs.
that's a good point. So we have had multiple conversations with everybody affected. We've worked closely with each other as a group to talk about where the next step goes. And it's been right from the very first person all the way through the high school. So the first person would, it's challenging without names and you know them all, but it's with the first person with only needing one grade 2 teacher, that grade 2 teacher would then have the opportunity to go to grade 5. The grade 5 teacher has requested to go to grade 6 because the grade 6 teacher has requested to go to grade 7 ELA because the grade 7 ELA teacher is moving to Florida.
As
So
well as
good for
grade
her,
7
right?
Science, yeah, or grade 7.
Grade 7 ELA.
Grade 7
Yep.
ELA, and then we have.
Yes, yes. So that's kind of the spin there. And then if we go to look at the math position, that person doesn't lose a job either because we have our science teacher in grade 7 and 8 who is also is leaving our system to go to another system. So if you compare us to across the state of Maine and perhaps across the country, we're not saying like Portland is losing 30 teachers and 27 ed techs. This is a lot of movement. I'm not saying that it's not, and maybe it's not what everybody wants to do, but everybody has a paid job with their benefits in the certification, in the group, that, you know, like with 5th grade teachers going to grade 6, you know, it's, I personally have been grateful that these 2 openings came so that there didn't have to be layoffs and people are not really truly going to be out of their comfort zone. I understand it's challenging. Change creates friction until it smooths out, and it feels like we're in the friction stage.
So no staff's getting eliminated,
No,
no staff eliminated. That room will have title support,
yes,
that room will have educational tech support,
yes. as
that room
needed.
will have special ed tech support.
Yes, as identified in IEPs.
As identified,
yes.
the ed
Yeah,
tech, special ed tech support.
yes.
They'll have educational tech support. It's 2 different ones.
It is 2 different ones.
So they'll have ed tech support, they'll have title support.
Yes.
And as specified on IEPs, they'll have special ed tech support.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So
Yeah.
would it be safe to say 80%, 90% of the time, there'll be 2 people in that room?
I don't think we could say that. And at the beginning, when we first had our first conversations, there was conversations about what that tech support would look like, and it's just premature to say that.
Okay,
We've looked at, we know what we have for numbers for students who may need some assistance in the classroom. So we will absolutely address that. But to say today what it's going to look like in August, it's just
so
premature.
there's no way to really say how much support that classroom teacher will get.
There isn't, and I
Okay.
know from looking, talking with the folks, special ed and whatnot, that some of those kids have some push in and pull out service. Title goes in, title comes out with kids, that goes in, comes out with kids. So there isn't always the same amount of kids in the classroom at the same time. And again, it's just a reminder that, you know, 18 and 19 kids is still considered a smaller class these days. Now we have a classroom with 9. So to be responsible, fiscally responsible, we have to look at the opposite of that, the opposite of 9. Yes,
What happens next year, the year after? Are we just gonna be fighting this battle where we have to keep changing the teacher in a grade, would be my question. So if we're gonna, it almost seems like you're gonna have to change a teacher every year, if we
Right.
continue down this road.
I think that's a valid question, and the fact is, we have a class right now with 10 and 9. So we actually talked about doing this last year. Sometimes we have bubbles that go up through. You can have a large bubble go up through, or you can have a small bubble go up through, and that's kind of where we are. But we've also had, I've got a paper here somewhere, again, I've got too many pieces of paper, talking about how many kids we've had go in and out of our system this year. And like, we've had 12 kids come and go. It's just hard to say. If I had a crystal ball, I would answer that question. But annually, we'll just have to take a look at where we're at. If our enrollment changes and it goes up, we'll adjust. Maybe we'll have to advertise and do something different. But for today, this is what we have and this is what we have to plan on.
So if it went up a couple, we would have to look to hire it.
I'm not, well, we have one that is leaving that we're, enrollment is so volatile. I mean, it really, it changes so much that we really have to make a decision based on what we have.
At the beginning of the year, we had 36 kids in first grade. And that went down in June, excuse me, last June, we had 36 kids. And it went down to, started September with 20, and it stayed consistent all year long. So
Okay,
it was consistent 20 all year.
yeah, 20 all year, yeah. Yep, that's probably.
That made my eyes roll too. I didn't know how we lost 16 kids. No, we didn't. I hope we didn't.
And that's painful, right? Because that affects our subsidy too. I mean, when we look at Millinocket as a community, it's not so unlike a lot of communities. We look at what's available economically for our families. What do they come here to do for work? When they come here, where do they live? We want them to come to Millinocket. We want them to come to Sturts and Granite Street. And there's a lot of reasons for them too. This does not negate that. This is not a negative.
Can I ask how much is, if we go not to do this? What's the added cost gonna be to the budget
Yep.
that we're gonna be voting on after this?
Yep, we would add about 80,000
Probably close to 80.
because we have to
Salary and
add
benefits.
salary benefits, social security, workman's comp. So it's the whole package.
Ron, go ahead, excuse me.
Yes, so what we would ask for you to do is instead of at the end, after when we get to vote as the budget as presented, we would say vote as amended and put in a temporary number and then have to run the number for what it would actually be.
Okay.
But yes, it would be roughly $70,000 to $80,000 that we would have to add to what we're presenting right now.
Oh, Ron, is there any way off the top of your head you could, on the total general fund expenditure, how much would that jump? Right now, we're at 2.940.
You're probably gonna be closer to 3.3, 3.4. Yeah. What you're gonna be? At least 2%. It's 0.98 now, so you got, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, to that last year, it wasn't a jump at all, and it took it, make it. And it's still like 2% for it, so. The count, we didn't jump
Right.
at all.
Right, and yes, because after we vote here, after you vote here, we, like I said, we have, two more. A presentation and both, right.
Any more discussion?
um, and we probably started figuring in that new budget. I'm gonna ask a bad question. Is the thing going through the state right now, the up increased student, teacher salaries? We're gonna have to worry about stipends being, even though the state might cover that for a year or two, we have to worry about stipends going up with that too.
Well, that's a good statement. From what I've seen so far, it looks like our pay scale actually is up enough so that there wouldn't be a lot of gap compensation. Heather, have you seen the recent things? It looks like we wouldn't actually be eligible for much of, what they're calling the gap. Just like when ed techs, we only got the difference if we weren't up to a certain level, Kevin.
Okay.
All right, so if there's no further discussion, we can vote again on number 9. Okay, on the first side. So all those in favor? That it?
No.
Oh, all right, no votes? Sorry about that. 2 no votes or
3 no votes.
3 no votes?
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right.
Budget.
So when we go to the budget discussion, so Rhonda will take you through the changes from last time to this time. And then when we get to 13, we'll just have to make an addition there. And it will be on top of the numbers that she'll present at this moment. So you will not be voting on it right to the dollar. We'll just have to say as amended and then add that back in. Okay. Kama, am I right in thinking that we actually, because we didn't take an action to take it out, then we don't have to take an action to put it in, even though it's not in the budget, just making sure I'm clear. Okay, all right. Okay, so Miss Rhonda, if you want to start with cost centers and walk us through what the changes are.
I have in front of me the cost center draft, updated 4.6. So we have system administration went up slightly because of the health insurance that's come in. We actually got a health insurance number. And that was as of late Friday afternoon. So our health insurance is going up about 3, a little over 3%. Which is a really good number. We're anticipating it being much, much more. So they've actually gone down, so we have system administration at 827,436. School administration, all this has been adjusted. School administration has gone up.
There's a copy of that?
It's on the back.
Oh,
I
on
just
the very
didn't
back?
say-
Okay.
Same thing, I'm like, I lost my copy.
Okay.
Aw. On the back.
Sorry.
Regular instruction.
That's what?
Should have done that.
170.
Is at 2.8 million. Special education is 1.9 million. Student support, 551,000. Other instruction is 387, 364. We have no technical education, that region 3, that's 0. Facility maintenance, we did adjust facility maintenance by the suggestion of our fuel charges. And that was add another 48,000 to that. Our transportation stayed the same, our debt service stayed the same, and then the other appropriations is for our adult ed that stayed the same. The other changes that I've had to make were, I did some anticipated stipends, and changed those a little bit, increased those. Still a work in progress. Salaries and benefits have been reviewed, minor changes to school admin. Main paid family medical leave, main PERS, and the FICA was just due to the stipends. Increased the fuel charges when they talked about. We also increased the board's additional extra night for the board for travel and lodging as per our discussion from 324. And that's that, I got that. And then I added an additional 32,000 for health costs for 2 employees who are seeking the district's health plan. And then that's basically the changes. we've had.
Does anybody need her to say that again? That list? Good. Okay.
Do we know how much each one is down, Rhonda?
Each one is down, if you look at the budget, kind of to the budget page, it'll tell you.
Did you have to go through each one?
Yeah. It has to
Okay.
go, so flip to, you wanted to,
Because most of them were down before, right?
right? So if we flip to page 2. System admin's not down, it's up 2.1%. Page 4, school admin, that's up 4.89%. Regular instruction is down 2.64%.
What page?
Page 9. And that would be because of the teacher position, and that'll change. Special education, bottom numbers,
Page.
15. Up 2.837%. Student and staff supports would be on page 20. 6.1%. Other instruction, 20.36%. That's on page 22. Facilities maintenance, page 24, 6.623%. Debt service is up because we're adding debt service that's at 0.93%. And we still do not have that information to be solid yet, so we're still working on that. We expect it to be roughly the same, but same amount. Student transportation is up 11.6%. That's still on page 25. Other appropriations is 0.
And just a ballpark, increasing that teacher's position will change the total general fund to about
Three little, yeah, probably
3.3.
3.2, 3.3.
3.3.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I comment on something at this time or? Sure. Okay. I have heartburn if it goes over CPIU, the budget, and that's 2.69. But I tried to dig a little bit deeper today, because I talked to Dr. Lane about it. Now, every year I have heartburn if it goes over that. Because that's what we have to pay more at home, what we're paying for our bills. And so I tried to do a little research and looked at some of the schools in the state of Maine, what I could get. One was down at Freeport, RSU 5. They've proposed a budget increase of 9.82. I looked at the Kennebec, RSU 21. Recent proposal, 5.9. None of these have passed yet. Biddeford, approximately 7%. South Portland hasn't published theirs yet. Says most districts are landing between 5 and 10%. Health and things driving the budget, so the health insurance, you guys all know that drives the budget. Teacher salary mandates and putting money aside for stipends, that's why I asked that. That's one of the things that's going to drive the budget. From what I can gather, they're looking at reasonable budgets between 4 and 6% increases. That's more than I am happy with. But if we're looking at 3.3%, that's a reasonable budget increase. But I hope if we do vote to go that way, that everybody here remembers why we did it. And it was for the benefit of the students. And I hope they remember that when the budget goes to a vote for the town. When the town looks at it, you don't, you need your support to pass a budget like that. And we need it at the town council meeting when they talk about a budget. And we need it and at the voting polls, because we have to vote on it too. And I hope that you guys, like Dr. Lane said, appreciate you being here. I think you did affect things being here. And we're trying to support the students the best we can. And we want you to support the budget. It involves a lot of things besides that one position, but I hope you guys all support the budgets. That's all I got to say. I said what I had to say. Too many words, too little to say. But thank you for listening to me. Any other discussion?
Okay, so Rhonda will now go on to, so this is only one part, right? So this is our cost centers. This is what it's gonna cost us. What our projection is for the next school year, for the services, people, all of our purchases, that's what this reflects. But it isn't where we land. It doesn't represent what we're asking us to vote on tonight, because part of that is what we're asking the town to assume for their piece of the responsibility. As with all state subsidy, the state tells us how much we have to spend. And in order to receive the money that they give us in EPS. So that money is a given, and Rhonda has a chart also, the same chart we use every year. We call it the town chart. And she'll go through that because we are receiving less state subsidy this year than we received last year. That's affected because we have a few less students in our district and because we have higher evaluations for some of the properties in our town. I was on a Zoom call with Paula Gravel. She's the school finance director for the state of Maine. There were 172 of us on the call, and her answer, and I quote, was, "You get less subsidy when you have evaluations done because it signals to the formula that your town is doing well." So while some people feel that that is a weak link between what we're not receiving in subsidy and what is driving valuations, according to Paula Gravel, there is a direct link there. That property valuations went up, so therefore our subsidy goes down. So that's another piece. So these are our expenses, and then Rhonda will talk with you about the other pieces, which is kind of reflects the rest of this process.
So I don't. So the local EPS, actually I can pass these out. These are kind of follows what we're doing. Just a nice little chart.
I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. That's right. So the numbers you see in that chart are the numbers on the town share chart, as far as how we've been contributing, what they've been contributing. So the bigger number is our budget, the 9 million, which is we're doing right now. The 9,085,000. So the town.
That's gonna change to 165 though.
It
right?
is gonna change, yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, this is as of, this is before you voted today, or before you actually wanted that position added. So the local EPS is already set in stone, that's $1.4 million. And on that chart is, you'll see the color chart that tells you, I think it's blue is EPS. Yeah.
Not much.
Not much. And then the additional local appropriation the town has to kick in to make our budget whole is $2,762,000. Again, that number will change. And then they kick in for the adult education. We have no school appropriations because it has been a healthy program, so we're not recommending contributing any more to that program. Total local appropriation that the town has come up with is, as it stands today, $4,299,000.
And the difference is 466,000. That's because we've lost subsidy. It's because they have to kick in more money. That's how that works. We're looking at hopefully $100,000 of carry forward. We're trying to stick to that number. I've been working with audit today, so we should have a number shortly. She's been working very hard to get me my number. So the grand cost to the town is $4,399,000. So it's actually a 12.87 increase. Don't fall out of your chair. He's not listening. We're projecting our local revenue to be 404.2. Our state funding is $4.3 million. For additional revenues, we're looking to raise 413,000. That brings our budget to 9,085,356. Scary on that chart. Any questions?
You know what a mill rate is? How much a mill rate is for the town of Millinocket?
I do not. Somebody know that?
I got Michael Medora on speed dial. If anybody
I do not know that.
I think last year we were around 56%. I think that's what was on the tax bill.
I think you're right.
So it's probably gonna be a little more than 56% of the budget, total town budget.
I don't know, because when I was talking with the town the other day, the town budget has seen some increases.
As well.
So, you know, that will play differently with our numbers too. Sponsored questions? I know you guys have seen most of these numbers before, short of the 4 or 5 things that Ron had mentioned, that have changed since last time we met. If you have questions, we have plenty of time. And if you don't have questions and you're prepared to do the motion, then I suggest we add 80,000 to that instead of as presented and put in the number. And then we get what the real number would be once we relook at who's filling what position and what the actual will be. And I say that because once we go to the next level, we have to break it down for each of the pieces, and so we'll be really specific. Does that make sense? Yeah.
On our revenue side, Shelley, it's my understanding that we got a pretty good sized grant from the one of the senators,
Congressional, yeah.
congressional.
Yeah.
Does that come in as other income, or is it even in part here?
It's not, yeah, that's the, yeah, so.
Starts next year, following year, maybe?
Well, when it starts is the CDS grant is for like instructional materials, technology, those kinds of things. It's not part of our budget.
Okay,
It's a supplement. It will allow us to, if we need to do textbooks next year, it would allow us to buy those textbooks through the grant and not through the budget. But we don't have, Rhonda and I have in 2 days, I think, we have a Zoom to learn more. We have another application process to go through, so we don't even have like a timeline yet.
It's the same as any other grant that we receive, like for title or local entitlement. Those aren't part of our revenues. So we purchase anything out of a special fund.
And it's the grant actually has specific things we're allowed to purchase too, right?
Yes.
And so very much like other grants, there's gonna be some parameters around it.
But it will filter down and have a positive effect on our budget. Maybe if not
We-
this year,
we won't necessarily see it because it can't be, it's not gonna be used for people, it's gonna be used for like things.
Yeah,
So if we see something, there might be a little bit maybe in instructional support or, because it's gonna be more like furniture and things like that, right? Which,
Yeah, we have furniture, we have, equipment, gym equipment, outdoor education equipment.
Yeah.
We have some textbooks, we have, a science lab that needs to be redone, there's some projects also at Grandin Street as far as, instruction.
yeah,
Technology, we have some technology in that we would not otherwise be able to afford in our budget.
but if, you know, textbooks are in our budget.
Yeah.
Technology's in our budget,
Mhm.
so this would have a positive effect.
Yeah.
It might ripple down, maybe not exactly this year, but
Right.
next year. It's a good thing.
oh,
It's
it's a
gonna
great,
affect our
it's a
budget.
great thing, like.
So it's gonna have a
Beth said.
positive effect on our
Yeah.
budget.
Like Beth just said, it will give us the opportunity to buy things we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much, this will play out another year, evidently, obviously, I guess some, but we can't do a dollar for dollar,
no,
but,
no,
but it will
but-
be a boost for our schools for sure,
We
yeah.
can get, if we can get better,
Hmm.
say
Absolutely.
better, maybe newer books, newer technology. I mean, that's stuff we might have to do anyway. So I mean, I don't see it's a win.
Oh, it's a win, definitely, agreed. Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on what the board is comfortable doing. Would you like to have a motion? Do you want to come back in 2 weeks? Was
When is
this?
our meeting with the town? It's coming right up, right?
Yeah, it's the
23rd.
23rd, yeah. So yes, we need to have this done before that.
We might as well vote on it.
That's a Thursday.
I don't, do you see this, any big changes, Rhonda, on this?
The only thing is just to make sure that the 80,000, if it's
Is it-
accurate, it's added. What it does to the
Yeah.
bottom line. Quickly, it said 3.84%.
gonna say,
Okay.
Is it deep down too?
5%, yeah.
So we can, so we really have everything we need to vote, don't we?
Yeah, you kind of do. I mean, if you're comfortable.
Why postpone the pain?
Okay.
All right.
Let's have a vote then.
I'd like to-
You say what I'm
Motion?
thinking.
What, I make,
I move to approve the 26-27 budget as presented.
second it,
No. We need to make.
Oh,
the
as
same-
amended, sorry.
as a minute, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And second, Kevin?
Yes, I seconded it. Seconded it.
So
That doesn't
let's-
sound right.
Let's be a little more specific with the motion, so.
I think you're gonna put that 80,000 there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
okay.
so, as amended with the additional, 80,000. And then I guess, we'll give you'll know when we get it accurate, because maybe it's gonna be 76,293, like, once we figure out what all the taxes and things are. Is that fair? Okay.
Okay, all in favor? 5-all.
Mhm.
Thank you. And there's no oral report tonight?
Nope.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'm having fun. I'll second it.
Yeah. Where else am I going?
Julie? Okay. Is that? Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I just want to thank everybody in the room. You are welcome to come to these meetings every single month. I hope you can see that there's a lot of conversation. It is almost always really positive stuff. Your schools are doing really well, and we talk about the kids, the programs, our futures, opportunities, all of those things. Don't just come today. And like Kevin said, we need you to show up the next couple meetings. This is not over. Because we have other votes that we have to get through, other conversations, other selling points. And if we're going to do this, we need you at those places as well. So thank you for showing up today. And please join us every month. We want to hear from you.
I think
Upcoming meetings, May 5th, 2026, June 2nd, 26, July 14th, 2026, August 11th, 26, September 8th, 26, October 6th, 26, November 3rd, 2026, and December 1st, 2026.
Giving my year away.
and
And then can you just?
just because I want the last word, I think we got the greatest staff in our schools of any school in the area. And I'm very proud to be on the school board and I want to support you. And we think the world of each and every one of you.
Can you just state the date again for regular?
But we're not going to give you a big raise.
So, yeah, just.
Yeah, the town committee meeting, that is the April 23rd, 5 o'clock, I believe.